Ladies and gentlemen, let me start with this. Every woman knows the difference between a man who walks into a room looking for attention and a man who walks into a room commanding respect without saying a word. Now, let me be clear, respect is not about money, height, six-packs, or smooth talk. Respect is about character, and women respect men with substance more than anything else. Think about it. We respect the man who says what he means and means what he says, the man whose word you can lean on like a pillar. That's not sexy, it's sacred. We respect the man who leads, not by barking orders, but by being the example. The man who treats the waitress with the same courtesy he gives the CEO. The man who doesn't need to put anyone down to stand tall. We respect the man who listens, truly listens, because in a world full of noise, attention is love and love is power. And let's not forget, we respect the man who has vision, not just for himself, but for the people around him. A man who says, "I've got you, we're building this together." That's the kind of security no dollar amount can buy. See, women don't respect men who chase validation. We respect men who chase purpose. Purpose is magnetic. Purpose is protection. Purpose is peace. So if you're wondering what kind of man women respect the most, it's not the loudest, not the richest, not the flashiest. It's the grounded man. The man of integrity. The man who knows who he is and doesn't flinch when the world tests him. Because let me tell you this, when a man has character, when a man has vision, when a man has consistency, respect isn't asked for. Respect is given freely. Thank you. Integrity matters most because it is the foundation of respect, trust, and lasting influence. When we talk about men who command genuine respect from women, we're not talking about temporary charm or superficial attraction. We're talking about a deeper quality that sets a man apart from the rest: his ability to stand firmly in truth and consistency. Integrity is not about perfection, but about alignment between what a man says, what he does, and what he truly believes in. It is the invisible glue that holds his character together and makes women feel safe, secure, and proud to respect him. A man with integrity is one whose words carry weight. When he makes a promise, he follows through. When he commits, he stays committed. Women respect men who don't have to be reminded of their responsibilities because their sense of accountability is already strong. This isn't about grand gestures or over-the-top declarations. It's about the small, consistent actions that show reliability. A woman can respect a man whose word she can trust, because trust is the currency of any meaningful relationship. Without integrity, promises are empty and words are just noise. Integrity also shows in how a man treats people, especially when he has nothing to gain. The way he handles situations when no one is watching reveals his true character. Women notice when a man is respectful to strangers, patient under pressure, and honest even when dishonesty would be easier. That consistency creates admiration because it demonstrates that he lives by values, not circumstances. Integrity doesn't bend to convenience. It doesn't change depending on the audience. And that steadiness is what makes women respect such men. They know he won't become a different person when challenges arise. There is also a sense of security that integrity provides. Women respect men who do not need to lie, manipulate, or play games to get what they want. A man who carries integrity in his actions communicates safety, emotional safety, mental safety, and even relational safety. He becomes dependable not just in practical matters but in deeper, emotional ones as well. A man with integrity is not perfect, but he is honest about his flaws. He doesn't try to hide them behind excuses. Instead, he takes responsibility for his actions. This honesty builds a foundation where respect flows naturally, because respect grows where trust is unshakable. Another reason integrity matters most is because it reflects strength. It is much easier to cut corners, exaggerate, or take the easy way out. It takes real strength to do the right thing, especially when it's hard. Women see strength in men who stand up for what they believe in, even if it costs them something. That moral courage is deeply admirable. It shows that his values are not negotiable, and it assures women that this man won't crumble when life tests him. Integrity becomes a shield against instability and a compass that guides both his life and his relationships. Finally, integrity makes respect sustainable. Attractiveness may spark initial interest, but integrity sustains long-term admiration. It is the difference between being noticed and being valued. Women may admire a man's appearance or success, but those things fade or change with time. Integrity, on the other hand, only grows stronger with years. It makes a man timeless in the eyes of those around him, because no matter what else changes, his principles do not. Women respect this kind of man the most because integrity assures them that he is not just a good man for a moment, but a man they can honor for a lifetime. Leadership by example is one of the most powerful ways a man earns respect, because it goes beyond words and rests firmly on action. Women do not respect men who simply tell others what to do. They respect men who demonstrate through their behavior the standards they hold for themselves and for the people around them. A man who leads by example sets the tone for how he expects to be treated and how he expects others to carry themselves. Instead of demanding respect, he embodies the very qualities that naturally draw it out of people. This kind of leadership is quiet yet commanding, subtle yet undeniable. It is the kind of leadership that doesn't need a stage, because it is proven in everyday life. When a man leads by example, his actions and decisions carry authenticity. He doesn't tell others to work hard while being lazy himself. He doesn't demand honesty while practicing deceit. Women notice this immediately, because consistency between what a man says and what he does communicates integrity and reliability. There is something deeply admirable about a man who doesn't just talk about values but actually lives them. He becomes someone others want to follow, not because he insists on it, but because his example inspires it. Respect is a natural byproduct of that authenticity. Women respect this kind of man because leadership by example shows humility. A true leader does not place himself above others in arrogance. He shows that he is willing to do the hard work first, to take responsibility when things go wrong, and to celebrate others when things go right. This humility in action is magnetic, because it demonstrates confidence without ego. A woman sees this and knows that the man is not driven by pride or dominance, but by a genuine desire to create stability and growth for those around him. That kind of leadership is not oppressive, it is empowering. Leadership by example also reveals a man's sense of fairness and justice. Women pay attention to how a man treats people in positions lower than his own. Does he respect the janitor the same way he respects the executive? Does he show kindness when there is no spotlight on him? These small moments of behavior reveal more about leadership than any grand speech. Women respect men who lead through equality, not superiority. When he shows consistent respect to everyone regardless of status, it demonstrates that his character is steady and his leadership is grounded in principle, not convenience. Another layer of leadership by example is the ability to remain composed under pressure. Anyone can lead when things are easy, but true leadership is revealed in difficult times. Women respect men who do not crumble when life becomes uncertain. Instead of panic, they see steadiness. Instead of blame, they see accountability. Instead of avoidance, they see problem solving. This kind of response earns respect because it shows emotional strength and maturity. It sends a message that even when the world feels unstable, this man can be relied upon to stay anchored. Most importantly, leadership by example is sustainable. Words fade, charisma loses its shine, but actions build legacies. A man who consistently leads by example creates an environment of respect that does not need to be forced. Women respect him not because he demands it, but because he deserves it. His leadership becomes a model for children, peers, and communities. He is respected in private and in public, because his leadership is not an act, it is who he is. That authenticity and consistency are what make women hold him in the highest regard. Active listening is one of the most overlooked yet powerful qualities that makes women deeply respect a man. In a world full of noise, distractions, and people waiting for their turn to talk, the man who genuinely listens sets himself apart. Active listening is not simply hearing words, it is giving full attention, being present in the moment, and showing through both verbal and nonverbal cues that what the other person is saying truly matters. For women, this kind of listening communicates more than politeness. It communicates value, care, and respect. A man who practices active listening does not rush to interrupt or jump in with solutions before the other person has even finished speaking. He waits, he processes, and he responds thoughtfully. Women respect this because it shows patience and emotional intelligence. It reflects a level of maturity that says, "Your thoughts are worth my time. Your feelings are worth my attention." In relationships, respect is built when both partners feel heard, and men who listen deeply create an environment where women feel safe expressing themselves without fear of being dismissed or minimized. Active listening also requires presence. In an age where phones buzz constantly and distractions are everywhere, putting the phone down, making eye contact, and truly engaging in a conversation is a rare gift. Women respect men who give that kind of focus because it demonstrates discipline and intentionality. It shows that he values people over screens, real connection over superficial attention. Presence is powerful, and it creates a space where women feel not only listened to but understood. That sense of understanding builds respect in ways that surface-level conversation never can. There is also an element of empathy tied to active listening. A man who listens with empathy does not just process words, he seeks to understand the emotion behind them. Women respect men who do not dismiss feelings or try to rationalize them away, but instead validate them by saying, through their actions, "I hear you, I understand you, and I respect what you're experiencing." This does not always require agreement, but it does require recognition. A woman feels respected when her emotions are acknowledged instead of being belittled. That validation is a cornerstone of emotional safety, and emotional safety leads to lasting respect. Another important aspect of active listening is that it builds trust. When a man listens consistently, women begin to trust that he will not ignore their concerns or overlook their needs. That trust deepens respect because it demonstrates reliability not just in action but in emotional support. Respect is not only about admiration for strength, it is also about admiration for consistency, and listening is one of the most consistent ways to show someone that they matter. A man who listens is a man who can be trusted with more than words. He can be trusted with hearts, dreams, and vulnerabilities. Finally, active listening makes communication more effective. Misunderstandings shrink when both people feel truly heard. Conflicts are resolved faster because the man is not listening just to defend himself, but to genuinely understand the other perspective. Women respect men who can put ego aside long enough to listen, because it shows strength rather than weakness. It shows that he values the relationship more than being right, and that humility, wrapped in attentiveness, creates respect that runs deep. When women encounter men who listen this way, they do not see them as ordinary. They see them as rare, because true listening is rare. They see them as trustworthy, because attention signals care. And they see them as respectable, because nothing earns respect faster than a man who knows how to make others feel heard. Vision and purpose are qualities that separate men who are merely existing from men who are truly leading, creating, and inspiring. Women respect men who have vision because vision gives direction. It reveals that he is not drifting through life waiting for opportunities to fall into his lap, but instead he has clarity about where he is going and why. Purpose, on the other hand, provides meaning. It is the fuel behind his vision. A man with vision and purpose does not just live for himself, he lives with the intention of building, contributing, and leaving something meaningful behind. That kind of focus commands respect because it shows drive, discipline, and responsibility. When a man has vision, he becomes a man of direction. Women respect this because direction provides a sense of security. Nobody respects someone who is constantly lost, easily swayed, or quick to abandon goals the moment challenges arise. A man with vision can see beyond the present circumstances. He has goals that are not defined by temporary feelings, and he pursues them with consistency. This determination makes him stand out because it shows that he is not living on autopilot, but rather steering his life with intention. Respect naturally follows a man who knows where he is going. Purpose adds depth to vision because it anchors it in meaning. A man can have goals, but without purpose, those goals may come across as shallow or self-centered. Women respect men who do not only chase achievements for personal gain, but who also pursue goals that uplift others, create positive impact, or contribute to something larger than themselves. Purpose makes vision selfless, and that selflessness turns admiration into respect. A man who says, "I am not only building for me, but for us, for the people I love, for the community I serve," shows a depth of character that resonates deeply with women. Another reason vision and purpose inspire respect is that they reveal resilience. A man who has clarity about his vision does not crumble under setbacks. Challenges may slow him down, but they do not stop him. Women respect this because it shows perseverance and mental strength. Life is unpredictable, and a man without vision easily gets discouraged. But a man with purpose always finds a way forward. That resilience is not only admirable, it is comforting. It shows that he can carry responsibility without giving up, and that kind of steadiness earns lasting respect. Vision also communicates leadership. Women respect men who do not simply adapt to whatever environment they are placed in, but who shape their environment through clear direction. When a man knows where he is headed, he inspires others to rise to their potential as well. His vision gives people hope, his purpose gives them reason, and his actions give them confidence to follow his lead. Leadership rooted in vision is never about control, it is about inspiration. And inspiration is one of the highest forms of influence which naturally commands respect. Finally, vision and purpose make a man's respect sustainable. Attractiveness, charm, or material success may create admiration in the short term, but women respect men with vision because vision endures. A man who lives with clarity and purpose never stops growing. He keeps evolving, learning, and expanding. He sees the bigger picture, and he never allows temporary distractions to derail him. For women, this consistency is proof of stability. It means that even in changing times, his focus will remain intact. That kind of steadiness builds respect that does not fade, but strengthens over time. A man with vision and purpose is not just respected, he is remembered, followed, and honored. He sets himself apart by choosing to live intentionally, and women cannot help but respect a man who lives not just for today, but for a future that he is actively building. Grounded confidence is one of the most attractive and deeply respected traits a man can possess because it reflects self-awareness, stability, and strength without arrogance. Women respect men who know who they are and do not feel the need to exaggerate, boast, or pretend. Grounded confidence is not about being the loudest in the room. It is about being the most secure in silence. It is a quiet power, the kind that doesn't demand validation because it comes from within. A man who carries himself this way instantly earns respect because people can sense his authenticity and calm assurance. Unlike arrogance, which seeks to dominate or impress others, grounded confidence is rooted in humility. A man with this quality doesn't need to prove his worth constantly, he simply knows it. Women respect this because it signals emotional maturity and stability. It means he does not measure himself against others or base his identity on external validation. Instead, he moves through life with a sense of inner balance, and that steadiness makes him dependable. A woman can trust a man with grounded confidence because his self-esteem is not fragile and his decisions are not driven by insecurity. Grounded confidence also reveals itself in how a man handles challenges. Life inevitably brings difficulties, and women notice how men respond in those moments. The man with grounded confidence does not panic, lash out, or run away when things get hard. He faces problems calmly, evaluates solutions, and keeps moving forward. This kind of composure is deeply respected because it shows strength under pressure. It communicates that even when circumstances are uncertain, he will not crumble. That reliability creates both admiration and a sense of safety because his confidence is not easily shaken. Another important element of grounded confidence is respect for others. Arrogant men often seek to diminish those around them in order to feel superior, but grounded men lift others up without fear of being overshadowed. They respect people regardless of status, and they do not feel threatened by someone else's success. Women respect this kind of man because it shows he is secure enough in himself to celebrate others. His confidence is not about standing above anyone, but about standing firmly within his own identity. That humility combined with strength makes him magnetic. Grounded confidence also shows in how a man carries himself socially. He does not need to dominate conversations or constantly seek attention. Instead, he engages with authenticity, listens when others speak, and contributes when necessary. Women respect this balance because it demonstrates that his value does not come from being noticed but from being real. His presence alone is impactful, not because he demands it but because people naturally gravitate toward his calm assurance. Confidence rooted in authenticity always speaks louder than words or appearances. Finally, grounded confidence sustains long-term respect because it is consistent. Looks, money, and even charisma may fade or fluctuate, but confidence that comes from within remains steady. A man who truly knows himself will not be swayed by trends, criticism, or temporary failures. Women respect this consistency because it means he will remain strong even as life changes. His identity does not shift with external circumstances, and that makes him reliable both in relationships and in leadership. Grounded confidence is the kind of quality that withstands the test of time, and it builds respect that deepens with every season of life. A man who embodies grounded confidence does not chase validation, nor does he rely on showmanship. He simply walks in the truth of who he is, steady and unshaken. Women respect him because they know he is secure, reliable, and authentic. And that kind of confidence, rooted in humility and self-awareness, is one of the most powerful foundations for lasting respect. Character over appearance or wealth is a principle that has stood the test of time. Because true respect is never built on things that fade or can be taken away. Women may notice looks, they may appreciate success, and they may even be drawn to status at first. But what earns lasting respect is always character. Appearance can change, wealth can be lost, but character is the steady core of a person's being. A man with strong character, honesty, integrity, kindness, and consistency will always command respect far more than one who relies solely on external qualities. When a man is judged by appearance alone, the admiration is shallow, temporary, and easily replaced by someone better looking. The same goes for wealth. Money might buy attention, but it cannot buy respect. Women recognize that wealth without character is dangerous because it can fuel arrogance, manipulation, or entitlement. Respect, on the other hand, is earned when a man demonstrates moral strength. Women value men who are dependable, who stand firm in their values, and who treat others with fairness. These are the qualities that cannot be purchased or manufactured. Character reveals itself in how a man behaves when no one is watching. Does he still do the right thing when there is no applause? Does he show kindness to those who cannot give him anything in return? These actions speak louder than any physical attraction or financial success. Women respect men who can be trusted in both public and private, because respect grows from reliability and authenticity. A handsome face or a full bank account might catch the eye, but consistent integrity captures the heart and secures admiration. Another reason women respect character above appearance or wealth is because character creates stability. A relationship or partnership built only on looks or money is fragile, because both can vanish in an instant. A man's character, however, creates a foundation that remains even through life's challenges. When hardships arise, women know that a man of character will not abandon them, deceive them, or compromise his principles. He will remain steady because his values are not tied to circumstances. That stability commands deep respect because it communicates safety and strength. Character also sets the tone for how a man uses what he has. Wealth in the hands of a man without character can be destructive, but in the hands of a man with integrity, it becomes a tool for building, giving, and uplifting others. Similarly, appearance may open doors, but without character, those doors eventually close. Women respect men who use their advantages wisely and responsibly, never allowing status or beauty to define their worth. It is the discipline, humility, and responsibility behind those external qualities that create true admiration. Most importantly, character is timeless. Physical attraction can fade, financial success can fluctuate, but character endures. Women respect men who build themselves from the inside out, because they know that those qualities will not erode with age or changing circumstances. Respect is not about being perfect, but about being consistent, honorable, and authentic over time. That is why women hold men of character in the highest regard. They know that while appearance and wealth may impress the world, it is character that sustains love, trust, and respect. At the end of the day, respect cannot be demanded or bought, it is earned. And the men who are most respected are not those with the sharpest suits or the largest bank accounts, but those with the strongest values and the most trustworthy hearts. Women see beyond the surface, and what they respect most is a man whose character speaks louder than his appearance or wealth ever could.